Well, it's my business, but I have family members that help out and stick money into it too, because they get food and other stuff too and help can. And but I'm usually more of the one behind all of it, and I'm like, no, we have to do this. Put any other fertilizer, it washes away, it runs down our creeks, our rivers, and eventually out to the ocean or whatever. And with like worm castings, it doesn't do that. It doesn't wash away, and it doesn't hurt the frogs that are in our creeks and rivers. And I'm a beekeeper too, so that's a big thing with beekeepers. Is pesticides and chemicals. They're the ones, like frogs and bees are like the first ones on the front lines to start being affected by all that stuff. Frogs, they get 3-4 legs. Bees, they are just disappearing. The last couple of years have been really rough years for gardeners. I would say, yeah, my production has gone up and my yields have definitely gone up. They're tasting better because they're getting all their nutrients that they need. And I mean, I wouldn't have had no watermelon this year or muskmelon if it wasn't for my worm castings. I can almost promise that. They would have burnt out just like my herbs and all that stuff did, no matter how much I put on. They're a little more sensitive plants. And then they went to seed right away because of all the hot weather. There's so many things about worm castings that I like. It doesn't wash away when I get 6 inches of rain. I can see the worm castings still right next to the plant or the seeds that I planted. It's, the little round pebbles. You can tell which is worm castings in dirt usually. It holds moisture. I could, touch it and not, worrying about getting people sick or myself sick or hurting the land. It's just, there's so many little things, it scares off certain bugs, it keeps certain bugs away. Well, I've heard it with garlic where it keeps like nematodes away. Some of the bigger bugs, like pig bugs and borers, corn borers, them are kind of harder, but I've seen it where like on my cucumbers, it reduces the amount of cucumber beetles on there, so then I have a little more pickles because they're not eating so many flowers. The little things matter, I guess. Like in the greenhouse, I plant the seed and the worm castings go on top and then I water. That's where I see most of my benefits with germination, healthier plants. It holds moisture in a greenhouse. That's a really big deal because it gets sometimes 100 degrees in there while it's 60, 75 degrees outside. Usually when I'm transplanting or planting seeds, it'll get sprinkled on top, and then like when something's about to fruit, like raspberries or strawberries, it'll usually get sprinkled on top. And we're planting pretty much every 6 weeks probably, so we're always using worm castings pretty much all through the year. With manure, it's kind of when you get into animal manure and you're a vegetable farm, it's a very touchy subject. You can only do winter applications, so I would just have to take that manure out there in, December, and then apply it. And then in spring and stuff, I would have to till and plow it all over again, and that's just a little too much work. I mean, you've heard the horror stories about people with cantaloupes getting salmonella poisoning. Well, you find out a little later that it's all runoff from a big farm with manure or some kind of drip line from the watering system, and those are nightmares that are so easily taken care of by simple little things. One, I don't like to water. I like to rely on rain from above. And with the worm castings, I don't have to water that much. When we transplant, we water them in after we put the castings on, but that's about it. I got cousins and nephews, going to Palmyra and going over to buy tomato plants, and they're like, I ain't buying them things. Our tomatoes in our greenhouse look 10 times better. I'm like, well, yeah, a certain amount on worm castings, and that's, you know, it's the worm casting. No, it can't be. I'm like, what else is it?